A crushing wave of darkness eclipses the land. Children cry in the streets. Is all hope lost?
I recently went on 3 dates in a row with men who were unemployed. And I thought like, maybe I'm like picking them wrong or something. But then I started like paying like really good attention. And I went on one date with a man who was employed. And then I went on another first date number 5, unemployed again. I looked back, I confirmed all of them had that they were employed, had they said they had jobs. So it's giving recession indicator, and worse, I feel like it's giving looking for a sugar mama. Like, is there something about my profile that reads like, oh, she won't care if I'm unemployed? Like, what's going on? I just want someone who earns $1. Like, I can make the big bucks, but like, can you earn $1?
A crushing wave of shadow eclipses the landscape.
This is the best recession indicator. Currently, we have $3 in my car. If the $3 gets stolen by the time, I get back to the car, that means we're in a recession. So let's see if it happens or not.
That's so funny. This video should be popping off, and it's not, but that's so funny. That's like a fun thing you could try. Everybody should try that.
You live in America, you know the economy is in the dirt right now, okay? Whether they want to acknowledge it or not, we're in a recession. People are struggling, right? And with that being the case, there's been a lot of talk on social media of, oh, this thing happening is a recession indicator. This thing happening is a recession indicator. But I came across the truest recession indicator this past weekend just by happenstance. You know what I'm saying? I just was in a moment of stillness in the middle of the night, thinking how I don't hear any fireworks.
Actually, interesting. I did noticeably hear way less fireworks this year. Yeah, way less. Even just compared to last year. So
I hear no fireworks. That has to be the truest recession indicator of all time. Because usually for like a week and a half after the 4th of July, people are just setting off fireworks at random times of the night, you know what I'm saying? Without a regard for anybody trying to get a decent night's sleep, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we get the point. But yeah, and I also did not hear any supplementary, the spare collection being launched off in the days to come. Not one.
This might be the biggest recession indicator that we've ever seen. Apparently, a popular barber in Houston is now offering a membership program where a client pays $150 a month and they get 4 haircuts in return. And I'm not gonna lie, it sounds good as hell. It seems like a pretty fair deal, but it's also a huge recession indicator. Because
I don't even know what a typical price would be to just walk in. I mean, there's tips. Look, there's tips involved. There's the idea that you get this membership program going and certain people aren't going to show up for all 4 of their haircuts. It is really smart. I mean, it's better to have consistent money coming in, paid in advance, and then you just deliver on a service. I don't know if this has anything to do with, a recession. It's just a guy trying to bootstrap his barber service. And I think it's really smart. I think these membership programs are brilliant.
You want to know how I know we're in a fucking recession?
What?
I bought in Arizona. Not even a full-size Arizona. It was $2.31. Not even the big dog, dude. We're so fucked.
Wait, I thought that Arizona was famous for the CEO. He was like, we're all about the 99 cents. They have it printed on the can.
So my friend just told me about a conversation she had a couple of days ago with a group of people she just met, and they were talking about the integrity of using AI for art, but specifically for writing. So this one girl in the group is a Substack writer, and she says that she uses AI to help her with her writing. So my friend obviously asks, what do you mean by that? If AI is doing the work, how can you call it your writing? So the girl responds back by saying that she uses AI to organize her thoughts and structure them in a way that connects her ideas together to make them flow better. So my friend, who's also a writer by the way, says back, organizing your ideas is the writing. Wrestling with the incoherency of the ideas in your head and turning that messy and undefined shape into a cohesive piece, that's the process of
No, I'm gonna have to push back on this one. I don't know if you've ever tried to use ChatGPT to write something good. it's not a magical writing machine. I mean, it seems like it at first glance, but if you don't steer that thing aggressively, it's almost as much work to get it to write something good for you as it is to just write something yourself. I mean, it doesn't matter what your opinion is on this particular topic because this is just the way things are going. Be grateful that this person's willing to tell you this. Good writing is good writing. So if you can make it work somehow, then that's all there is to it. I kind of disagree with this guy.
Finding your voice as a writer, as an artist. So the other girl responds back by saying that my friend is gatekeeping writing and that she's not appreciating how accessible AI's made writing for everyone around the world. And my friend says back, like, what do you mean by accessible? All you need to write is a pen and a paper. So then this other dude jumps into the conversation, and mind you, my friend just met these people, right? Like, she only knows one person at the table who she's friends with, and the rest are just side characters, so she doesn't want to antagonize or cause any tension. Anyways, I wish I was joking when I was saying this, but the dude ends up saying that my friend's being ableist because she's not appreciating that more people can make art now.
I'm not so sure about the ableism argument, but it's just like, stop being a baby about it. There's nothing we can do about it. This is the new standard. You're either going to capitalize on it or not. And I'm telling you, it's not enough to just lean entirely on it. You really do have to collaborate with these models.
Man, I just got handed this Poland Spring bottle, but I don't know. This shit look like it's on Ozempic or something. I've never seen this. Shit look skinny. Look aerodynamic as fuck. Now, this gotta be a recession indicator, bro.
Am I tripping? Is $65 too much to pay for a gel pedicure? I've called around 2 places that are pretty close to me, and one I think is $60, the other one is $65. And I'm thinking to myself, I still have to pay a tip after this?
I mean, ladies, I weep for you. I mean, I can't even imagine keeping up with the level of maintenance for your nail care. I understand beauty matters to an extent, but it's so much money. It's so much money. The hair, the nails. Oof, like.
Can someone tell me when, like, alternative women just collectively decided to start getting their tattoos lasered removed? Like, I feel like I've seen at least 5 different alternative baddies on this app.
I didn't know they were called alternative women. Is that what they call women who get all tatted and pierced up? Alternative women? Okay.
Who were, like, known for, like, their tattoos and, like, their septum rings and, like, that whole blueprint. Literally getting that shit lasered off.
And look, I've been predicting this forever. There's going to be a renaissance. Young ladies growing up, I'm telling you, you're going to be more of a prize, more special if you don't get any tats or piercings whatsoever. And that includes your ears, by the way. So, hot take from me. Don't do any of it. Be pure. Be the way God made you. And I think that that's so much more exciting than these alternative women. No offense, ladies. I mean, your graphics are okay, I guess, but meh.
It's like an angel clipping their wings, and it pisses me the fuck off.
Also, this is the brand is by the urgent care. This is like their own brand.
All right, what are we seeing here? Okay, so this is like an Ozempic alternative. Live, Ozempic and Wegovy. Okay. A generic version of Ozempic, all right. In the doctor's office.
Of weight loss shit. I've been talking to my friends a lot about recession indicators and thinness being pushed so heavily in media and at the doctor's office is a huge recession indicator. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to use one of these products, but it should be like not like subtle messages or like extremely in your face messages about being thin or getting thin, especially not at the doctor's office. Like, it should be a conversation. It shouldn't be like pushed right on you.
I'm not an expert on Ozempic, but does it make you eat less? Is that the idea? I know that it does something to your body and kind of like decreases your muscle mass. Maybe it's tied to recession, less food available, but you're hungry, so you take Ozempic and you can kind of get through it. You're also losing weight, you're spending less money on food. Yeah, perhaps.
Another way I know that we are on the brink or already in a recession is that the company that manages my apartment complex sent out an interesting email last night that said like loss of employment protection as it relates to paying your rent. And I have never.
Does she mean that they're now offering that as an insurance policy? Is that the idea? Or they're making it available as an option for people to pay for as insurance? I've never heard of that. Loss of employment insurance.
Seen anything like that. Like, I don't know if y'all have. I've lived in apartments since like I got out of college. So going on 5 years now, and never have I ever seen an email where a leasing office or the company that does property management is sending something out to tenants saying, in case you lose your job, here's what we can provide so that you can keep paying us rent.
I think that's just smart. Why? That's a win-win for everyone. I don't really see why that would be a bad thing. I don't know if the HOA fees go up.
Whenever I like to look into how the economy is doing, I tend to look at how big companies are performing, their earnings report, and a lot of really, really big conglomerates are starting to flash warning signs about the economy and the coming months in terms of consumer spending. And when Pepsi, Procter & Gamble, these very big companies report lower earnings, it's not just about how these companies are doing, it's also about how Americans are approaching consumption in this country. And the data is showing that a lot of these really big companies are officially worried about the American shopper. Companies that make everything from Lay's chip.
Worried about the American shopper, right. I mean, not the best way to phrase that. I think they could care less insofar as that you just continue to buy and get poisoned by their poison products.
Just know if I mention my mom's Palisade and the video was over 1 minute, bro, that shit's a recession indicator, bro. So if I'm talking about my mom's Palisade and I'm stretching it over the span of like 1 minute long.
I'm looking in the chat here. Does this video count? Yeah, I think it counts. But this is very funny, and I'm looking at the timer on his clip. It's 1 minute, right? I mean, it's probably like 1 minute, 1 second.
If the video's 1 minute long and I'm talking about my mom's Palisade for over 1 minute, it is a recession indicator, and it means that the economy is in a bad place because I'm talking about my mom's Palisade,
right.
Swerving, switching lanes in my mom's Palisade. If I talk about that for over 1 minute, and I'm stretching it for
and he's stretching it
minute, that's a recession indicator, bro. I guarantee it, bro. Because how can you be this unemployed, bro? That's got to be a recession indicator, bro. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's like that's a real thing, bro. Talking about my mom's Palisade for 1 minute is especially one of the biggest recession indicators. We're cooked, guys.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? If I talk about my mom, just know if I mention my mom's Palisade.
I don't think we're gonna get a better clip than that. That is so fun. That is like genius level funny.
5 things trending this summer that are actually just recession indicators. The first one that I've noticed is skinny talk is on the rise. There's so much promotion of eating less and being okay with it.
Excuse me, ma'am, can you not do your makeup before you do your video?
The next thing is short nails. I've been seeing so many different places that are predicting the trend of short nails coming back. They're calling them princess nails now. So not only are short nails going to be trending, but natural nails in general, even if they're longer, are going to be trending. Underconsumption and minimalism trending. Been a minimalist. I've been one since about 2020, the last time that we had almost like a mini.
Ladies, maybe I don't understand, but is there not a way to do your own nails? Is it physically impossible to do it? And I understand they might not be as nice, but is there really no way to do your own nails? I feel like there should be a way. Like if you wanted brand new nails every week or every 2 weeks. This seems like a scam, ladies.
Recession. There's always going to be minimalists and underconsumers.
And I don't care where you are financially. It's like that's wild, man. That's wild. The power of the female nail.
Out there, but the push for the mass public to get involved, that's when you notice there's something else going on. The next one is large groups of people quitting fake tanning. And you're gonna see that rise of natural features being popular during recession eras because it costs money to change things about yourself. This falls under the same branch as the name.
And the tanning thing, I mean, is the alternative not, I don't know, just laying on a lounge style beach chair in your backyard? I mean, what the is time efficiency that important that there's no other way? But yeah, vanity, it is a sin.
You're also going to see a large group of people go back to their natural hair colors, or maybe even grown out roots are going to be popular again. And last but not least, the child-free movement. There's already a large amount of people talking about waiting to have kids, but now you're going to see a lot more people talking about how they're definitely not having kids. And a lot of that is knowing that a recession is coming or nearing. So people cannot even bear the thought of having children right now. The craziest part about a lot of this is corporate companies already know this, and they know what to drive and push to get more sales out of you, even in a recession era. I've been promoting natural features for years, so basically the biggest recession...
Says the lady who's just slathering her face with 16 different products. I don't know if I buy that.
Listen, the recession indicator's been there for a while now. Hella indicators been happening the last few years. Yeah. I'll start with one.
Okay.
Hugh Jackman put on the yellow Wolverine. He was probably 54 years. He's 56 now. He's probably 54 years old at that time.
That's true. That Wolverine movie, the dark one, the more serious X-Men movie. The thing was like that was supposed to be his last Wolverine. That was what was kind of poetic about it.
X-Men came out in 2000. You understand? Like, and then at 54, he puts on the yellow Wolverine outfit. Like, no, the sign's been there. Michael Jordan is working for NBC. Michael Jordan's going to work.
That one's shocking to me. I mean, you almost forget about Michael Jordan. He kind of just completely disappeared from public after that Nike deal and after his retirement. So, yeah, that's true. That is true. Michael Jordan's back.
To talk to people. Beyonce did what was that? An IG, not IG Live. What was that thing called? Voiceover. There it is. Beyonce did a voiceover showing y'all her real hair.
Yeah, I mean, Beyonce hates her fans and wouldn't come out into public if there wasn't a really, really good reason. So
these are my true recession indicators. Number one is doctors, lawyers, and finance professionals becoming lifestyle content creators. Can you imagine, like 5 years ago, neurosurgeons and investment bankers posting daily vlogs on TikTok to make some extra cash? Like, that would never have happened.
I mean, I suppose, but it's also just good business, putting yourself out there organically.
Those were professionals. They made the big money. They spent their free time spending that money. And now it's just not enough. Number two is Beyonce tickets still being on sale. They're not sold out. And you remember how hard it was to get tickets for the I Am World Tour or the Mrs. Carter World Tour. You had to be on the website the second they were released. And even then you were lucky if you got tickets. The Cowboy Carter Tour is literally next month and tickets are still available. I get it, the music doesn't hit quite like it did before, but still, it's Beyonce. Number three is the rise of skinny talk. To me, this is recession core. People don't have money to buy good food. People don't have money to go out and fine dine. People don't have money for personal trainers. People don't have money for expensive gym classes. So instead, we see the rise of eating nothing and walking.
This isn't really Beyonce's era anymore, right? So it's probably she's trying to sell out a stadium or something crazy, right? And, I guess if it hasn't sold out yet, doesn't mean it won't. So, but I never even heard of Skinny Talk. We might have to check out Skinny Talk. It's taking lemons and making lemonade. It's like, if we can't buy food and we're overweight anyway, we might as well just get into fasting and showing off how slim we can get. The skinnier you are, the less you need to eat.
And lastly, DIY beauty. The girlies are doing their nails at home, hair at home, laser at home. They are even micro-needling at home. If that's not a recession indicator, I don't know what is. Sad times.
I'm a man, so I just couldn't possibly understand. I understand that there's a value in being beautiful as a woman, and it's helpful for your status and affiliation in social circles, but that's crazy to me, the level of money that's spent on it, specifically nails. Specifically nails, I think, is the big one for me, because your nails, they grow pretty quick. You got to get them redone every 2 weeks or so. and you're changing it up. You're spending a fortune. You're tipping it on top of that. It's, you know what I think it is, actually? I think I just realized it. It's not so much that you can't do your nails for whatever's not your dominant hand. Maybe it just gets a little harder for your non-dominant hand to do the other hand. I bet you there's a way to do it where it's 80% as good and it probably takes less time, you know, versus driving out to someplace, sitting there, having it done. I understand there's a certain pleasure and enjoyment from being tended to. So you lose that therapist-like social interaction that you get from your nail tech, perhaps. Maybe not even. Maybe in some cases you don't even really talk.
Everyone is like, oh my God, recession indicator. You want to know the craziest recession indicator?
Yeah, I do. I want to know the craziest recession indicator. It's so funny you ask.
I saw today a bagel shop was advertising free water. I think it might be even worse than the DoorDash buy now, pay later, although that's also pretty bad. But it's this bagel shop that I live near, and they had a sign out on the sidewalk, and I did a double take when I walked past. It said free water with your purchase of a breakfast sandwich, and they had that little easel out on the sidewalk, all caps, like loud and proud, like, hi, come get it while it's hot, your free water. Like, mama, have you ever heard the saying, April showers bring May flowers? If I wanted free water, I would just step outside, tilt my head up, and open my mouth. It's been raining every single day. I will.
Do we like the free water promo? I don't hate it. First of all, it's healthier for your client to grab a water, so that's less soda. The margin's probably pretty good. I mean, what would you normally pay for a bottle of water at a bagel shop? Anywhere between $1 and $2 for like a bottle of Poland Spring, let's say. I guess it depends on your area. But do we like this? I'm going to reconfigure it a little bit. I think it'd be cooler to do free water, but it's like filtered tap water. And you don't have to get a purchase. It's just, hey, we're making a commitment to the community. You can come here for a glass of cold water. Maybe we'll even put some ice in there for you. And it's just free water, especially in the summer. And then by extension, that's a great way to get people in the door. Yeah, I mean, people will just show up and get water and never buy anything from you, but a certain percentage will be grateful and they'll buy a bagel. So that's what I would experiment with if I ran a bagel shop in the summertime. I think that's a nice thing and something you could be known for. It's like you got people walking around the neighborhood. That could be built into their routine. It's like, oh, maybe I go running every day and I always go past this bagel shop and at least I can get a cold cup of water there.
I will say, I think one of the biggest recession indicators has been in our faces for quite some time, and it used to be the source of like some of my best content. Finding a job, it's so difficult now, and it's been really difficult for like a year and a half, 2 years at least. Like my unemployment era was over a year ago. Even just the amount of like restaurants and bars that will just be empty. Like even in super popular areas of Manhattan, you walk by, not a single table is occupied. Granted, we're not technically in a recession yet, but like the fact that businesses are resorting to advertising free water, that makes me a little worried. I don't
No jobs. Yeah, I guess no jobs is a recession indicator. Yeah, I can't really argue with that.
So I'm a curbside shopper at H-E-B, and honestly, guys, the number one recession indicator should be that everyone is getting spaghetti. I am not kidding. I have never seen this many people get spaghetti in this amount. Like every single week, every single order is getting spaghetti. Like that really should have been our first sign.
I don't know if there's anything particularly fancy about getting takeout spaghetti. I think the fact that you're still getting takeout, even if it's spaghetti at a premium price, yeah, I'm going to push back on that. I don't think that's a recession indicator. I mean, maybe it's a little bit cheaper than buying something else, but it's still a sign that people aren't going to cook it themselves. Spaghetti. I mean, come on, spaghetti? Pot of boiling water, a couple noodles, sauce, maybe a little bit of herbs and spices. I don't think people should be buying takeout spaghetti. That's a little bit sad.
Want to know a good recession indicator?
Sure.
I run a landscaping company.
Okay.
And when people cancel, multiple people cancel their landscaping for the year, I can tell it's a year where people are worried. And I have lots of properties. I have dozens of properties. But I had like 6 cancel this year. And I hadn't even bumped the price on them. They just were like, I'm going to do it myself for a little while.
Well, we don't know that because landscaping is a pretty competitive thing. You got a lot of these companies rolling around out there. They're probably sweeping in saying like, hey, can we take over for this guy? We'll give you a little bit of a cut. So I think this is not entirely accurate. I think there's such a thing as churn in all businesses, especially highly competitive businesses.
And that made me think we're probably headed into a bit of a worrisome time. Recession indicator for sure, I think, because, landscaping is something that you can't just not do. It just gets more expensive the longer you wait. And if you wait really too long, the state will fine you. The city you live in will fine you for your stuff being overgrown. So you have to do it. And usually you're going to want to hire somebody because it's a lot of work.
Maybe this is just me. I always fantasized about having an all-stone lawn just so I didn't have to think about cutting the grass anymore. That's probably against zoning codes, I bet, right? I bet you it's against zoning codes. But there's even zoning codes that require a certain amount of plants and certain configurations depending on where you live.
And when people want to do it on their own, recession it.
Look, if you have a giant piece of property, it's not so easy to do it yourself. Another reason could be there is a whole wave of lawn automation that's hitting. Okay, you got bots. It's been out for a little while, but they're kind of catching more momentum here. I'm a little bit worried about the general lawn cutting, landscaping entrepreneurs, because it's not that complicated to have a bot cut your lawn. I mean, the logistics are simple, right? It's a freaking Roomba for your backyard. Yeah, there's some things that got to be worked out, but certainly it's easier than self-driving cars, which are getting better and better. So I think that's probably a good investment. Do the math, see if you can get one of these decent automated grass cutting things. Even if it were able to cut like 80 to 90% of your lawn, that's still probably worth it in the end. Then you just kind of go out there real quick and do the remaining more detailed portions yourself, the trimming, all the little areas where it's not that simple. That's my big prediction. That's going to be a huge thing in the future. Everybody's going to have their lawn mowing bot.
One of the best indicators that tells us if a recession is coming or not is flashing right now. And it's not what you think, all right? It's not inflation numbers. It's not interest rates. It's not the stock market. It's not the jobs reports. And please don't mind my orange hands. I made a grave mistake yesterday.
Get on with it, lady. Okay. Hook. Anticipation. Tension. Building.
It's a frozen pizza and lipstick sales. I know that sounds crazy, but stay with me for a second. Because every time the economy starts to get a little bit shaky, we see sales in those two categories rise. Why? Because when people can't afford big luxuries, they turn to small ones, okay? Think a $5 lipstick instead of a $500 bag. Think a frozen pizza instead of a date night out. It's actually called the lipstick index. We saw it in 2008, we saw it in 2020, and guess what? Oh my God, my eye. We are seeing it again right now. We need to understand that this isn't just about food or makeup. This is about consumer psychology. It's about what people do when money feels tight, and this is one of the biggest indicators of all. So while everyone is just looking to the stock,
I'm so sorry. I understand that this is a staple of modern social media, but isn't showing yourselves putting the makeup on kind of contrary to the illusion of the makeup concept itself? I'm not saying that people are going to see you all made up and think, oh, that person's not wearing makeup. That's just pure beauty shining through. Or really taking the magic out of the illusion when we do our TikTok videos with showing all these little steps. And I get it. The reason it's happening is because it gives you something to look at as you hear the person babble on about the lipstick index. So I understand that it works. Couldn't it just be easily be something else? I don't know. Get good at flourishing cards. Takes the magic out of this kind of contract between you and the world.
Stock market to see what's going on. This could actually be the real warning. And if that freaks you out, I totally get it, but you don't have to stress, okay? Because I've actually put together a free training for you guys. It's called How to Get Rich in a Recession. It's going to go through how you can...
I think I'm good on the training. This isn't something we're covering in this video today, but I did a little bit of my own independent research in the background, okay? And we're not watching clips on that stuff because it's super, super boring and highly technical. But, I've been saying, I don't really know if we're in a recession. I actually don't think we're in a recession. And then, at least for the next 3 to 6 months, I don't foresee some kind of massive financial event taking place. I really don't. I mean, that's just a speculation and prediction based on me watching a bunch of videos on the topic. If anything, the stock market will probably still go up. Houses will still increase in value. I think things are fairly stable. Granted, there isn't some kind of black swan event. That's where I'm at with this. Now, that doesn't mean that people aren't suffering. The peasant class, people like you and I, even if you're upper middle class, you're basically still a peasant to the elites. Yeah, we're suffering, and things are getting harder every day. The people who actually run this world and this country and the ultra wealthy, they're in great shape. They're in great shape, and obviously they get priority over us.
Hey, Maddie.
Yeah.
What's a weird recession indicator?
The hemline index, so the idea that your skirts get shorter when the economy is doing well and longer when it's not.
Max, what's a weird recession indicator?
There's a men's underwear index.
I don't think that's appropriate, ambushing someone right as they come out of the bathroom. That's not appropriate at all. I mean, I don't even think the camera should be pointed into a bathroom at any point, which it just was.
Hey, Scarlett.
Yeah.
What's a weird recession indicator?
I like the cardboard box indicator because it's a measurement of how much we ship items to ourselves from Amazon, for instance, but also a measurement of manufacturing activity. So if there's going to be a drop-off in demand, like during a recession, then you're going to see a drop-off in the use of cardboard boxes, like this one.
That wasn't a cardboard box. My complaints about this clip, I feel like every one of these people was handed a script. This doesn't feel organic to me.
Hey, Tim.
What's up?
What's a weird recession indicator?
Has anyone talked to you about diapers yet?
No.
All right, so the diaper change theory is the idea that during the economic hard times, parents change diapers less frequently.
Sunny, what's a weird recession indicator?
Since the 80s.
I'll put my own variation on the diaper index. I bet you there's a correlation between going for the disposable versus washable diapers concept. There you go. That's mine. That's mine. I called that one.
It has been a pattern that champagne sales have dropped during hard.
Wait, she's drinking champagne at work? That looks like a ginger ale. All right, so that about covers it for recession indicator talk. I would love to invite you to support upcoming content and keeping this thing going by joining my $1 YouTube membership. That's all I ask, okay? I'm just looking tiny little bit of support. I don't want to impact anyone's life beyond that, okay? $1 from people who are vibing with me, who want to see more. That would mean the world to me. If you would like to, I will also invite you to join my private membership network. And that's going to be through a Discord link that'll open up when you join the $1 YouTube membership, right? Or you can hit the coffee mug in my shop below this video. That'll take you to my fourth wall. I just want to ask people to join and chill for like $1. All right, that'll give you the ability to reach out to me if you want to. But I have a couple other tiers set up, kind of a little bit more of a long-term vision. I am kind of making available my expertise and services in the areas of content creation and production. If you're like a YouTuber, if you're a TikToker, if you do live streams, I've got a lot of insight and experience, and I've got like 20 years of video production, 3D animation. That's kind of my thing. So if you're looking for advice or information on that, get in there, reach out to me. You can DM me. The community's brand new, and basically you have to become the community by joining me, and we're going to hang out. And we might do like podcasts and stuff eventually. We'll see what happens, but we're keeping it light. If you really want like professional advice, you have something serious you're working on, just talk to me and we'll work it out from there. But I am available. I do want to help my people accomplish their goals, especially in the area of like content creation and making a little bit of progress on social media for their own personal brand or their channel. The main focus is YouTube, but not necessarily limited to. So thank you so much, everyone. I will see you next time. We're going to do another talk that I really have been thinking about. I want to do a late stage capitalism talk. So that's going to be next. So keep an eye out for the late stage capitalism talk. Go check out my tax talk if you like this one. I think that was a fun one. And I will see you guys next time.